Sionagad, Osha, afternoon, good afternoon, Wado, thank you for watching. So this is part B of day 21. I wanted to give you a little bit more because I just had all these revelations in there. So he said, the abilities decrease as you age, as they are best developed when you have no limiting belief systems. I know it would mean a lot to you and others to know that this poop is all real. To all the people reading this right now, channeling is real. I am not alive, I am dead, and yet I can talk to you with quantum theory. Thank you, James, for all that you do and for helping with the consciousness of humanity. And this was channeled by David Lotherington, Lotherington. Enoch prophecies. The Cabal has been warned multiple times what would happen if they continued down their path. In 1987, Pleiadian contactee Billy Meier, M-E-I-E-R, delivered a document to the world leaders which predicted their quest of power would bring about a hellish end of this world. Known as the Enoch prophecies, this document reveals that cloned cyborg super soldier program also took place thousands of years ago on the planet of Enoch, H-E-N-O-C-H, and ultimately led to the destruction of a civilization. In the document we read, due to the default of scientists, enormous power will be seized by the power-hungry and their military, their warriors and terrorists, and power will be seized as well through laser weapons of many types, but also via atomic, chemical, and biological weapons. Also concerning genetic technology, enormous misuse will occur because this will be unrestrainedly exploited for their purposes of war. Not lastly due to the cloning of human beings for warning purposes, as this was practiced in ancient times with the descendants of Enoch in the regions of Sirius. However, this will not be all of our horrors, as besides the genetic technology and the chemical weapons, far worse and more dangerous and more deadly weapons of mass destruction will be produced and will be used. The irresponsible politicians will unscrupulously exercise their power, assisted by scientists and obedient military forces serving them, who together hold a deadly scepter and will create clone-like beings, which will be bred in a total lack of conscience, and will be scientifically manipulated to become killer machines. Division by division and devoid of any feelings, they will destroy, murder, and annihilate everything. Last but not least, the fault of the irresponsible scientists who, by cloning, will create human machines for military purposes, devoid of conscience and feelings, and will create immensely deadly and all-annihilating computer-like weapons. Let me see. There we go. At the same time, the danger could become reality that the human combat machines, the military clones, will gain their independence and under their own management will bring death, devastation, destruction, and annihilation to the human beings of Earth and to the planet. And this is Billy Meier. It says shown here in 1978. Right here. I've seen this guy before, and I couldn't exactly place him, but now I understand. You would think after this kind of warning that a sane person would immediately change their ways, but sadly the people who control this planet are far from that. So instead of taking heed of Billy Meier's letters in the mid-90s, the Cabal chose to assassinate him. After his 21st assassination attempt, he was finally replaced with a clone which proceeded to sabotage and discredit his own work. So if people are going one way and then all of a sudden they flip, right? Right? The Andy Pero saga, P-E-R-O. And that finally brings us back to the Andy Pero saga. After he went public with his story in 1998, he described suffering from a variety of monarch-style programming riddled throughout his childhood and adulthood, which was engineered by Project Paperclip Nazis. Using hypnosis, torture, and drugs, they split his mind, creating alters with enhanced psychic gifts, including telekinesis, teleportation, and supernatural strength. He was used as a guinea pig in Project Montauk, where they would plug him into the trip chair and use his mind to open up time tunnels for various time travel operations. By a freak accident, he became self-aware of his programming and began fighting back using the very abilities which the government created. Michael Andrew Pero, P-E-R-O, was born in Fallon, F-A-L-L-O-N, Nevada in 1969, which dates him as a second-gen super soldier. At the age of 2, his father was transferred to McGraw, McGraw-Kaserne, Kaserne, Army base in Munich, Germany, which shut down in 1992. Here as a young boy, he was programmed with strobing lights, needles in his ears and genitalia, electroshocked and given hypnotic suggestion. Good God. This torture caused Andy to have a severe stuttering problem, which worsened throughout his childhood as these sessions continued. The purpose of this was to create a hologram-like computer inside his mind, which would cause his consciousness to be programmed like a robot. He would act on a programmed command, but would not second-guess what he was told. After his father left the service, the family resettled in Stamford, Stamford, Connecticut. When Andy was 7, he remembered seeing his father murdered in front of him by a handler and then witnessed his mother being gang raped. This was done to dissociate his personality even further. Later in his childhood, his mother relocated to Rochester, New York, which happens to be a hotbed of Project Paperclip Nazi immigrants. He excelled in both school and in athletics. He worked out 5 days a week to compensate for his stuttering problem, which made him appear to be a dumb jock. During his college years, his programming was kicked into high gear. While on scholarship at the University of Rochester, Adolf, his Nazi handler, would place him in a trance while in a secret room located at the top of the university's library. Here his quote-unquote Z, and he's asking in parentheses, Zarathustra, Zarathustra, altar, would be accessed using the trigger Rhino and programmed using hypnotic suggestion. While in hypnosis, he would do amazing things, such as swim in a tank of ice-cold water for 24 hours non-stop, teleport, jump off a 20-story building and land on his feet, do push-ups in perfect formation for an hour, squat 1,000 pounds, or crush rocks with his hands. Without even enlisting in the military, he soon found himself recruited into MyLab Black Ops. Andy remembers being escorted into an F-16 from a small Rochester airport to an unknown Southwest desert location, where he was dressed in black t-shirts and pants to perform special military exercises and assassination missions on obstacle courses. Another time he remembers being taken aboard an aircraft carrier. He also recalled memories of operating the Montauk chair at Montauk Point, New York. Here he could manipulate matter itself by creating a chest full of softball and football-sized diamonds, which was used to lavishly fund the project. With each mission, his memories would be erased and he would be returned sometimes only hours later. He was also involved in numerous Delta Team operations involving UFO retrievals and cleanups. These crashes occur all over the world on a monthly basis. After these operations, his memories were then erased. One of the ways his handlers would gain support from politicians and the Illuminati was to present demonstrations. While in trance, Andy was taken to the Hollywood set of the movie Soldier, starring Kurt Russell. He was asked to perform something impressive, so he kicks and smashes a fence. Someone on the set laughed, like it's no big deal, so Andy picked up his parked car, a Saab model, and tossed it upside down. The guy ran towards Andy to stop him, so Andy picked him up, too, and crushed him against a tree. The Illuminati tried to recruit Andy as their 42nd degree Illuminati Golden Boy. George Bush is reported to be a 42nd degree Mason. According to Andy, the highest level is a 45th degree, but it's rumored new degrees are being created all the time, so the highest degree may be much higher now. Andy says the people at this level were reptilian shapeshifters or hybrids. They were all about 6'2" and taller and wore a belt which would allow them to shapeshift from human form to reptilian form. As their golden boy, he was made the inspector of the underground facilities at Montauk Point, Long Island, the Montauk Chair, at Rome National Air Force Base in Rome, New York, and the Monarch Sex Slave Programming Center at 140 Century Road in Paramus, Paramus, New Jersey, and the